Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Grapperinos, the wrestling pizzeria where we serve you a slice of probably next week on Smackdown. I'm Bryon, and joining me in this endeavor, Jalen Brunson's number 5 hater, Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm like a Jalen Brunson hater. I'm just a Knicks hater in general, given that I'm a Celtics fan. Um, so
I just mentioned that because the Knicks are in, or at least Jalen Brunson is in Saturday Night's main event with Roman Reigns. So,
yeah, they're gonna glaze the fuck out of the Knicks for winning a absolutely cupcake conference that had basically no other lethal teams except maybe like Cleveland, and that's really just it. So
I'm expecting Sami and Gunther to make some kind of a comment like that, I guess. I don't know. Or, sorry, Seth Rollins. Wrong main
I
event.
hope they do. That'd be valid. But I would love nothing more to watch Jalen Brunson get hit with a chair and then be out for 6 months. That'd be wonderful.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I doubt the NBA is going to let him do anything. They're probably not going to touch a single hair on his head because he's too much worth it to the Knicks.
Yeah.
So.
Well, not only do we have that, but we also have some good old-fashioned Danhausen, who predicted, or at least cursed the Knicks and then uncursed them and then have them win. I'm sure he's going to get a huge ovation over there in Madison Square Garden when he comes out for his match against JD McDonough for some reason. So, okay. I think this match was just put in there just so that Danhausen has something to do other than, hey, let's just put him out there and have the fans cheer him, and that's it. But okay. There you go. Alright. Well, Saturday night's main event is this Saturday, and we are predicting, I guess, the go-home show for it. Although, if you've been watching SmackDown for the past couple of weeks, you wouldn't know. But there you go. I guess that's what the product is now. And we are going to predict basically what's going to happen from beginning to end on this show. Here on this show. Yup. And we do it according to these rules. And after that, we basically watch the next episode of Friday Night SmackDown when it comes out, all 2 hours of it. And then we score our predictions and bookings that we made on this show using this scoring system. And then after that, we come back here and we tell you what we got. So, scores. 3 points for me. I got it from CM Punk and Cody appearing on the show. I also had Finn Balor predicted to win on my card, and he did, which is pretty cool, I guess. Although, I don't know who predicted Tama Tonga winning, but whatever. What about you, Mike?
Yes, I had 2 points. I had 1 point from CM Punk appearing in a promo. I did not have Cody showing up. I had Sami and Gunther showing up, so I only got the point from CM Punk showing up, and I got a point for a backstage segment with Gunther, and that is about.
Oh yeah,
it.
where was Sami?
So
Where's Sami? What the hell? Why didn't Sami appear on the show? That's kind of weird.
According to a backstage segment later in the show, he was quote unquote taking a mental health break.
Ah.
According to Nick Aldis.
Okay.
Kayfabe, obviously, but yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. He's taking a mental health break. Well, I think that break is going to be short-lived, but we'll see. Anyway, let's take a look at what is announced, which I don't think there is any, unless I am missing anything. So, with that, I guess let's book this thing and head into my version of the show first, as CM Punk walks to the ring. Punk talks about the match with Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, as well as the tag team match they have against Sami Zayn and Gunther at Saturday Night's Main Event on Saturday. He says he doesn't know why Nick Aldis made the choice to do this tag team match, but he must abide by it because he is a fighting champion. He will show to everyone once again that he is still the best in the world. He is interrupted by Cody Rhodes, who also talks about teaming up with Punk to take on Sami and Gunther on Saturday. He also talks about his history with Punk and how they got to the WWE to getting the biggest prize in the company, as well as the usual face stuff when a challenger faces a face who is champion. And Cody is attacked by Gunther while CM Punk is attacked by Sami Zayn while security come out to separate them. Nick Aldis then comes out and says, "Man, man, man," or gentlemen. Gentlemen. He announces the main event, and that is Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn, just to hype up this tag team match at Saturday Night's main event. I hope the heels win, I guess, on this tag team match on Saturday Night's main event, because I don't care that much about the match, so whatever. Anyway, Danhausen is backstage, and Danhausen and Matt Cardona are basically fooling around. Judgment Day come out, they ask for their monies, and Danhausen says no, and Danhausen gets played on by the Judgment Day, but Danhausen plays a prank back, and that's how you build a match between JD McDonough and Danhausen. It feels like Danhausen is just here. It's because of the Knicks, so whatever. Now that I think about it, someone from the Judgment Day is probably going to make a Knicks one because the Eastern Conference was terrible kind of deal. But whatever. We'll move on from that to Brie Bella taking on JC Jane. This is to build up the Women's Tag Team Championship match at Saturday Night's main event. I will have Brie Bella win by pinfall due to some good old 50-50 booking goodness. Again, I'm sort of copying and pasting from last week because I'm hoping that this happens this week. And after the match, Fatal Influence beat up Brie and Paige, get their titles, raises to the audience and them, and leave. And I still think Nikki comes back at Saturday Night's main event to cost Fatal Influence their shot and have Brie and Paige retain. After that, Baron Corbin comes out for a little promo. He talks about what happened last week. He justifies jumping to the WWE with the idea of new challengers and new titles to hold. He sets the US Championship as his first target and challenges Trick Williams for that title. He is then interrupted by Carmelo Hayes, who is heated that his opportunity got taken away by a second-rate bisexual Undertaker. I guess, let's make that comment, might as well. He challenges Baron Corbin to a match for revenge reasons, and Baron Corbin accepts, and that leads us to this match, as Baron Corbin takes on Carmelo Hayes. I will have Baron Corbin win by pinfall due to interference from one Trick Williams. I think Baron Corbin will be a heel here. After the match, Baron beats up Carmelo some more. Trick comes in to shake Baron's hand, but Baron chokeslams him or something and leaves. So I think that if there is going to be another match at Saturday Night's main event, you might as well have Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin for the US Championship at Saturday Night's main event. And then at SummerSlam, you can have Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes and make that, a really big match. There's a lot of history between the two men. Might as well put it at SummerSlam. I think Baron Corbin being put in Saturday Night's main event, it will kind of help boost his stock and to sort of prove to, I guess, his former employers that they can take care of Baron Corbin better, I guess, and, position Baron Corbin into that US Championship fold. So, yeah, that's why I have this. So, there you go. Chelsea Green is backstage. She is being interviewed by some lady, but is interrupted by Tiffany Stratton, who says that there's a match between Chelsea Green and Michin tonight, and that Tiffany will help her out this time after ghosting her these previous times. Chelsea says, okay, and leaves, but Tiffany has a bit of a different look as she leaves. Again, I think this is trying to set up a heel turn for Tiffany. I think she's going to break away from the whole Chelsea Tiffany connection, and I may have something more to say about this when we get to that match, because that match is tonight, or on my card tonight, so whatever. Jimmy Uso takes on Solo Sikoa. This happens due to what happened on Raw. I will have Solo win by pinfall. After the match, Jacob Fatu comes in for the save, but Royce Keys comes in and causes a brawl with Jacob around the ring. And a match is announced on Raw where Royce Keys goes up against Jacob Fatu. I have no idea where we are going with these angles going into SummerSlam, but I think we are heading into a tag team match at SummerSlam where Jimmy and Jacob go up against Solo and Royce Keys. And honestly, after everything I've said about the Bloodline storyline so far, I don't really care about the match to predict who goes over there. And frankly, this is going to build up to the whole Solo and a bunch of faces going up against the Bloodline, who I guess are heels. I have no idea, but whatever. I don't care at this point. So, moving on to Chelsea Green versus Michin. Michin wins by pinfall due to a distraction from Jade and the rest of the baddies. Alexa Bliss comes out for the save, but the baddies overpower her. Tiffany does not come out, however, and the baddies walk out smiling. And I think we are going to see a Tiffany heel turn coming soon. And I think this will be helpful for Tiffany's character. I think Tiffany has been stale as a babyface. I don't think a lot of people are sort of gravitating to her as a babyface anymore. And I think it would benefit for her to be a heel at this point, because that is where her character lies. And I think that, it's much better this way, as Chelsea and Tiffany are just separate. And there's more Women's US Championship contenders because of that. So, yeah. Do I think that Jade and her baddies are going to be used for Tiffany's gain? Maybe. But considering that they've been beefing for the past couple weeks, I don't think so. And Tiffany will have to rely on some other sort of, women, to maybe Nia Jax and Lash Legend. There you go. Maybe them. Maybe some other folks to sort of get one over. But, yeah, I think Tiffany heel turn coming up later this year. If it doesn't happen, then, I guess we are sticking with, boring Tiffany Stratton. So, there you go. Sami Zayn is backstage. He is looking for Johnny Gargano for advice on the main event, but finds Gunther instead. Gunther clarifies that he doesn't like Sami, but he hates Cody more. He wants Sami to damage Cody a lot so they can win the tag team match at Saturday Night's Main Event, and Gunther can finally get the opportunity that he was robbed of. Sami clarifies that it is his opportunity too, and he will take out Cody so their match at Saturday Night's Main Event is easily won, and he will also get the opportunity at SummerSlam. Sami comes out for the match as Gunther looks on, and that match is next as Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn, the main event. And Sami wins because of a dusty finish. After the match, Sami beats up Cody some more. He's sort of, angry, and he's laying it out on Cody. However, he is saved by CM Punk, who comes down and beats up Sami, but Punk is attacked by Gunther from out of nowhere, who puts him on a chokehold. Meanwhile, he and Sami grab Punk's title. They do a little tug of war, and they just drop it near Punk's body as both of them leave. And I think I hope the heels win, but ultimately I think that the faces will win just to build up their feud for SummerSlam. And I don't really know why we're putting Sami and Gunther in a tag team match against Cody and Punk if this was the way to go. But honestly, I think they are heading I think that they don't want a triple threat situation again, and they just want to put, you know, Cody and Punk because they are the biggest names. They gotta sell tickets, and SummerSlam is not selling well right now. So they gotta build it up well, and put it with big main event stars, and Cody and Punk are those. So yeah. I do think that Punk will retain though, no matter what, and after that, probably put Punk up against Sammy and Gunther. So, there, I guess. There's your go home show from my perspective. Any questions?
Um, so you had Alexa Bliss running in to save Chelsea Green?
Yes.
Okay. I think she was kayfabe injured last week by
I thought
Jade.
that
I
was-
think they they pulmonized her arm.
I thought that was Charlotte
think.
Flair. That's why I didn't have Charlotte Flair on here.
No, I think it was Alexa Bliss. Yes. Yeah, because it was Alexa versus Jade, and Charlotte was ringside, and then Alexa got her arm pulmonized.
Listen, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're kind of spinning the wheels in that mid card women's. They have a lot of good talent, but it seems like they're spinning the wheels in that scenario. So, I definitely think they're setting up for a Charlotte Alexa breakup, which will be a title match. I've also heard rumors that Rhea Ripley is injured again. Hooray! So she's gonna have to do something soon, which is why she hasn't been on TV. So who do you think faces her at SummerSlam? Because we haven't heard anything from her for a while.
Rhea?
Yes.
At this point, just relinquish it. You might as well just relinquish the title at this point. I mean, I don't know why you're sort of, keeping it at this point, and then she's away. Maybe they don't want to risk Rhea sort of dropping it because she's a big name, in their opinion. So maybe they want to keep it on her. As to who faces her, you could throw Jade again, but honestly, the way she is positioned, I don't think they'll do that. You could also probably do... I don't know, honestly. I mean, maybe Rhea versus Charlotte again, I guess? But again, that seems kind of too early. Maybe Rhea versus Alexa? Like, I don't know. They'd have to put in a big name there to sort of sell tickets. And in my opinion, kind of the bigger names right now are in that division, at least, are Jade, Charlotte, Alexa, Brie Bella, Paige, but those are a tag team. And yeah, I don't think there's not anyone else, and those options are not the best, in my opinion. So I don't know. It's either one of the three, honestly, and the three options don't sound, unless I'm missing something, but I think all those options are pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where to go next with this. I think that she definitely drops the title. I don't think she's injured enough to where she has to relinquish the belt. I think she probably loses at SummerSlam, goes away and gets fully healthy, and then maybe comes back around WrestleMania, because she is one of the bigger names. So I do think this mid-card sort of feud we have going on here is going to lead to that, though. So I would keep an eye on it.
Well, I think it's also leading to a Survivor Series War Games match where the females are literally just Jade and the baddies going up against a couple of faces, and let's lump in some Judgment Day folk in there too, I guess.
Yep, it's the female Survivor Series where we take a bunch of heels and stick them together. We take a bunch of faces and stick them together, and we have a Survivor Series match. Hooray!
Hell yeah!
Yes, baby.
Hey, at least on the men's side, you have some factions, I guess. You probably got the Bloodline in there going up against Solo, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, two other faces. I don't know. Maybe Street Profits. Put them there. There you go. There's your Survivor Series card. Swallow it.
Yes, sir.
Consume the slop.
Yes, sir. Now, what do you think? I guess we have the same problem in the men's on SmackDown, the men's mid card. It seems like this Bloodline storyline is also kind of spinning the wheels because now we have this random, probably the most random fucking tag team of all time, which is LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa, which I'm pretty sure is like a tag team you get if you just randomly select 3 people in 2K for a tag team match. It just seems like they needed to give those guys something to do, and they're like, you know what? There you go. You're all together in a match. So, where do you think that ends up?
Again, Survivor Series War Games. I think like they're sort of. I think this is going, like I said earlier, it's probably going to lead to a tag team match at SummerSlam. You're probably going to have the building blocks of the men's War Games match on that tag team match at SummerSlam. They did it before last year, I think. And this year, they're probably going to do the same. I mean, you're probably going to put the Usos because they're big names again. You're going to put LA Knight in there because people like him, I guess. Put him in there. You're going to put Solo Sikoa because he's part of it. And you're also going to put in Royce Keys. He's an up-and-comer. People like the up-and-comers. Put him in the match. It's probably going to be I don't think it's going to be a 6-man tag. If they decide to, then fine, I guess. But I think it would be better as a normal tag team match where you put the Usos up against Solo and Royce Keys, or Solo or LA Knight, and then have Royce Keys just be there, and then you have the whole, run-ins from the other members of the Bloodline, I guess, and that's when you'll sort of have that build-up towards the Survivor Series War Games match. So, yeah, I think this is going to lead to a tag team match, like I said earlier, and you're sort of seeing the building blocks for the men's War Games match. And honestly, for the men's War Games match, I don't know what they are going to do there. Maybe we'll have a situation where Jacob Fatu comes to his senses and decides to ditch the Bloodline to go up to the faces. Maybe. We could probably see, some other, defectors from the other side going to the Bloodline. Maybe Solo Sikoa decides to join the Bloodline. or something like that. So, definitely a couple cases, but I do see it being a War Games sort of... That is the end point for this, so...
Yeah, it would make sense that it would lead to a War Games match. It really feels like they're forcing the War Games match nowadays. Like, it feels like they're forcing us to, or forcing themselves to have it without a storyline in place. It feels like it should really be put in place if there is a storyline. But then, it makes it awkward because, if you have a storyline like the Bloodline, and you have a War Games match, you have to have a women's one, and then the women get kind of just shoved together, so...
Yeah.
I don't know, I think people are just there for the gimmick. Speaking of War Games, Bryan, I have a rant that I need to go on.
Uh-oh.
So, last week I saw some people in the Twitter space saying that the WWE was in discussions to have Survivor Series in Boston. And I was like, oh shit, I can go to a pay-per-view for once. Nice. And then the only thing that had to happen was it had to go through a vote in the Meet Boston committee, which is like the committee that I guess handles like events and whatnot. And I saw this and I was like, all right, it's over. It's not going to happen. Because these are the same people. These are the same people that said, no, we don't want to have the final match of probably the biggest wrestler in the last like 20 years. We don't want that. It's not what we want. So, and then they gave it to Houston. Yeah. So I don't know. But I did see a clip of, I know this is a WWE podcast, Brian, but I saw a clip today of Tony Khan coming out to what I assume was maybe a house show, because apparently they're having Dynamite at not the Garden, but some other venue. I think it was the House of Blues or something.
Maybe, yeah. They do like smaller venues than WWE.
They might have.
They
might have a pay-per-view in Boston. So, if you're interested, I mean, I don't know how interested you are in AEW. So, but there's your consolation prize, Brian. You get an AEW pay-per-view.
Hell yeah. Listen, I would love to go to an AEW kind of. If they decide to put a pay-per-view up in Boston for AEW, I mean, I'm down, for sure. I haven't seen AEW TV lately, so I don't know what's going on storyline-wise, but I do know most of the people in there, and like MJF or Kenny Omega, those folks. Yeah, so I'm definitely more, not really like, what's the word for it? I'm more familiar with it, but not to the point of, I watched their TV weekly recently. So, yeah, I'd be down. I would be down for an AW. I said PLE. I almost said PLE. But I would be down for a pay-per-view for sure. If they announce it in Boston. If they do it, then you know what, Tony Khan, you can have my wallet.
Nice. I heard they're cheaper too, so I might get a better deal than the slot that WWE's filling you for like $300. So,
I will say though that you should prepare yourself for these because I don't know if you know this, but Tony Khan sets up his pay-per-views to be like.
I know. I heard they have they have super long pay-per-views and they have a super long pre-show. I've watched a few pre-shows because they have Big Boom AJ. It's the only reason I watched it. So.
Hey man, if you want to see Big Boom AJ live, we'll go to the pre-show.
Nice.
Why not? We'll go like 2 hours before the show starts,
we can go,
and then we'll have
2 hours
Big Boom
and
AJ
watch
live.
Big Boom AJ and Big Justice. So, all right, that's enough AEW for one episode, Brian. I think we should get back to the actual Fed that we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah.
And get to my
Triple H is gonna get mad.
Yeah, he's gonna get mad.
What they're talking about AEW? They're not talking about my booking. All right. Well, it's okay, Papa H. We'll get to Mike's card. We'll start off with.
I have Cody Rhodes coming out for a promo. He comes out, says his typical this line. Not that one, the other one. Not that one. No, the other line that he says. The what do you want to talk about line. And he is interrupted by Gunther. Gunther comes out, and Gunther says that Cody has stolen his spot in this title match. In this title match with CM Punk. Gunther says that should have been my spot. You took that for me. You just strolled in here and got it back. I was first in line. Then CM Punk comes out after Gunther and says, well, if you wanted it so badly, you should have came out here and stopped him and got your shot, but you didn't. You're too busy dealing with Nick Aldis and complaining to him and being a bitch. He says the B word because we're serious. This is an adult show and we're serious. Then Sami Zayn comes out and he demands a rematch with Cody for CM Punk, saying that CM Punk doesn't deserve this title because he was out for months and he just comes back like it's nobody's business and wins a title without even having to go through any sort of other pathway. There's a big brawl, everybody fights everybody, and that is how this segment ends. So after this, I am informed that a wrestler has returned by the name of Baron Corbin. I do not know who Baron Corbin is. He seems to be in that gray zone of my knowledge, like right at the cusp of when I started watching modern WWE, is when Baron Corbin left, and now he's back. And I don't know exactly who he is. He seems to be like a very mid wrestler who is apparently like disliked and liked at the same level, so it's very confusing to me. But anyway, he attacked Carmelo Hayes last week, in a fight with Trick Williams. So I assume he's going to be aiming for the U.S. title, and I think that he confronts Carmelo Hayes last week and explains why he did what he did, because he wants to go after the U.S. title. Carmelo Hayes says, well, if you want a shot at the title, you're going to have to go through me because I'm next in line. And this ends up being our main event. After this, we have Finn Balor versus Talatonga, not Tamatonga, Talatonga, the other Tongan. I think that this is 50-50 booking, pretty basic. Talatonga wins by a pinfall thanks to distraction from Tamatonga. I could see them attempting a post-match beatdown, but I don't think they're like explicitly heels. I think they're tweeners. They haven't done any heelish activities, so I'm not sure exactly what their MO is. So I'm not even sure where this is going. Maybe Finn Balor makes some Temu Bullet Club or something. I don't know. But just giving them something to do, I guess. God forbid we give him a title shot, right? Backstage segment after this, we have the War Raiders and Damian Priest and R-Truth discussing the title shot yet again. I thought this was going to happen last week. I thought it was confirmed, but it didn't happen. So I was very confused. I'm not quite sure where this is going. I think this may be going either to Saturday night's main event because they only have 4 matches on the card, and they typically have 5, but there is a Roman Reigns segment teased for Saturday night's main event, so maybe that is what the 5th, quote-unquote, match is going to be. This could be dragged out to SummerSlam because we have 2 nights, and we need to fill 2 cards, so maybe that's it. I don't know. So I think this is going to lead to a title fight at some point. When, I don't know, but this title scene needs a shake-up definitely because Damian Priest and R-Truth have been tag team title holders, and I don't think anyone knows that they are. Hell, Damian Priest is spending half his time in AAA, and he's in tag team title holder right now, so I don't know what's happening. So after this, we have a promo from the one person who was not injured last week, which was Charlotte Flair. And she comes out and challenges Jade to a match because she hurt her friend, Alexa Bliss. Michin and B-Fab, along with Jade, come out. And Jade says, well, no, You don't get to fight me, right off the bat. Um, I'm going to send Michin down to fight you first because you don't deserve to fight Jade. Typical heel tactics. So Michin and Charlotte Flair is our next match. And I think that Charlotte ends up winning this one by a pinfall. I think that Jade and BFAB try to get involved, but Charlotte and Tiffany run out to help her out. We have all the blonde women coming out in an alliance together. They're like the blonde alliance. Actually, no, wait. Chelsea isn't blonde. Never mind. So anyway, they come out and help her out, and Charlotte wins. I think this is leading to probably a number one contendership match for the women's title between these two, and then whoever wins will face Rhea at SummerSlam for her belt. So there's that. Then we get into the main events. This is a U.S. title number one contendership match between Baron Corbin and Carmelo Hayes. Yes, Baron Corbin is main eventing a Smackdown. Yes, I do not know anything about Baron Corbin. So I think Baron wins this one because he just came back, and it would be kind of stupid to have him lose when he comes back for the first time. I think this maybe leads to him versus Trick Williams at Saturday night's main event, maybe, or more likely it's going to happen on the Go Home show, or maybe another SmackDown in between now and SummerSlam. Even though SummerSlam is only 2 weeks away, I don't think they're going to pull the Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams pin just yet. I think they're going to save that for WrestleMania, so maybe this happens at SummerSlam. And then there's a build for Carmelo to get another shot at WrestleMania where it's him versus Trick Williams. So, because that, like you said, I agree. It is a big match. They have a lot of history, and I think it would be a little bit ill-advised to pull it at a SummerSlam. They could do, both. They could do one at SummerSlam, one at WrestleMania. But, I mean, involving Baron Corbin now makes me think that he's probably going to get that slot at SummerSlam, maybe, and Carmelo Hayes is involved in some capacity. So, do you have any questions,
okay,
Brad?
so you're saying that for SummerSlam for the U.S. Championship, we are heading towards a triple threat, or I
Could
guess
be.
Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams?
Yeah, I'm saying it's probably either, honestly. So,
Okay, all right. Definitely a choice. I don't think Baron Corbin is sort of a popular pick. So, I guess to give you some information on Baron Corbin, fortunately, I watched Baron Corbin, or I watched WWE when Baron Corbin was on TV. So, basically, he was a former football player. I think he was a defensive lineman. I don't know what position he played, but I know he was a former football player. He went to the WWE. He had sort of like a kind of like a loner gimmick. He sort of like a loner biker sort of gimmick. He also had a really good theme song. End of Days, pretty good. I would say he also has a pretty cool. Yeah, End of Days is pretty good. Like both as a song and as a move that he does. It's so good. Unfortunately, though, I think when he went to the main roster from NXT, he was not booked very well. He did win King of the Ring at some point, but after that, they sort of like put on some not so great gimmicks at him. I think there was a gimmick that he did where he was a happy gangster, and they named him Happy Corbin for some reason. That was a gimmick for Baron Corbin. Okay, sure. And that didn't do well. So they basically put him back on NXT to sort of, better his, wrestling ability and character stuff. Because, despite the End of Day stuff, his skill set is still pretty limited. So they put him back in NXT, but he got let go, or he sort of quit the company, and now he's back. So I could be wrong in sort of the long and short of it, but yeah, I think Baron Corbin was one of those people that had potential, and that potential was just not sort of, I guess, capitalized on by the company because they keep putting on terrible character gimmicks for him one after another after this whole loner biker gimmick didn't work. So, yeah, now that he's back, I think the sort of field has changed. So he kind of has a better sort of point when it comes to opportunities and the like. So, anyway, okay.
Thank you for giving me the debrief on Baron Corbin.
I mean, supposedly he has gotten better in terms of wrestling and character, so we'll see. But that is sort of the long and short of it. But anyway. So I guess two other questions. What do you think of the tag team match as Saturday Night's main event between Punk and Cody and them taking on Sami and Gunther? Do you think this is a great build-up for this Punk and Cody feud? And does this mean that Sami and Gunther play a role in the finish of Cody versus Punk? Like, I'm sort of confused in that announcement of it being a tag team match. I think it just feels so nonsensical. And having them, sort of put in this scenario like this, kind of, I don't know, it just makes it kind of boring, in my opinion. So I want to hear your thoughts on that and what this means for SummerSlam for Sami and Gunther.
So I still think the idea is CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. And I think what happens in this match is basically Gunther tries to injure or hurt Cody Rhodes, and Sami, despite being his tag team partner, maybe tries to help Cody, is hesitant, doesn't, and he's sort of still in that tweener role. And then I think at some point maybe Nick Aldis comes out, physically takes on Gunther, maybe hits a move on him, causing them to lose the match or something. I think it's going to forward the storyline in some way. It is kind of awkward because Sami isn't fully a heel. So I am interested. I'm just interested in I just want to see what the hell they're going to do with this because it is kind of an awkward, it's an awkward match, but we'll see. So
yeah. I did hear a lot of talk about how Cody Rhodes has to turn heel from a lot of different other content creators. So I'm pretty sure that they've heard that sort of demand, and maybe they're gonna pull through with it. So we'll see what they do for sure in that match. And then last question is regarding this whole Jade and the whole thing. So I kind of, while you were reading out that sort of section of your card, I sort of had a thought. Do you think this sort of leads towards a 6-woman tag team match at SummerSlam where Jade and her baddies go up against Charlotte, Alexa, and Chelsea Green or Tiffany Stratton? And, whoever wins sort of takes on Tiffany, I guess? I don't know where you sort of think this is going. I know it's going towards a women's War Games match, but what are their plans for them at SummerSlam, do you think?
Yeah, I could definitely see a 6-woman tag team match. What's awkward is Tiffany has the belt, so I don't know who she faces. Maybe Jade again, maybe Charlotte, maybe Alexa Bliss if she's okay, because she was kayfabe hurt, so I don't know if she's going off for some reason, maybe just a break or something. Or Chelsea Green, maybe? I don't know. I definitely think that the plan is to have either Charlotte or Jade face Rhea at SummerSlam. As for where that leaves Tiffany, I mean, she can face Chelsea Green. She can turn heel again. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of different pathways here, and I'm not quite sure where they go because it's like they like to keep themselves open, but as a result, they tend to have a very ambiguous storyline with
I
no
think
real
it's
direction.
definitely also another thing to sort of figure it out because it is sort of confusing and it kind of seems like they have no plans with them. But yeah, I don't know. We shall see what ChatGPT comes up with. For the creative team here. But I guess that is that. That's what we got for the next episode of Friday Night Smackdown. And as I said earlier, we will watch the next episode of Friday Night Smackdown. And we will score our predictions and bookings based on what we have here on this show, what we have laid out. And then on the next episode of this show, we'll come back and tell you what we got. And then we'll do this whole thing all over again. So until then, thank you for ordering a slice of probably next week on SmackDown from Grapperinos. And remember, if you're down for some fresh, oven-baked, crispy wrestling content, stop on by Grapperinos and order yourself some content you can grapple with. See you next time, everybody.